Good morning, everybody. Jayy here with another War of the Visions video, and today we are talking a little bit more about limited guild battles. What does a 540 cost mean for team building? What are some team ideas you can throw together? Just like, how can you make this work so that your guild's not having to just hard carry you for a week because you're too confused by what all these numbers mean? It's not that hard, actually. And so we're going to just show you some examples of a couple teams I've thrown together, one of which I think is really fun. First, let's start with a more standard team build. This is just what I call, well, I call it standard, like I just said, I guess, where it's a tank, a DPS, and a healer, right? For this case, I've chosen Agrius, Zombie Ryryu, and Grace, and you can see the comp on the screen. I didn't have to get rid of very much power to make this comp work. Essentially, for this team, the only things where I'm cutting back are I'm running an MR Vision card on Agrius, and I'm running an MR unit with Grace. Besides that, these are a lot of the things that I would run on these units anyway. Shiva, excellent Esper for Grace. Odin, excellent Esper for Ryryu, and Golem, a great tank Esper, right? Like, I didn't have to really worry a lot about mixing up different things. Like, I didn't have to go crazy. 540 is very forgiving as a budget goes. If you look on the bottom there, you can see the stats that this comp is bringing. You see some pretty high magic values, especially from Ryryu and Grace. And essentially, this is going to be a team with a very tanky Agrius who's getting buffs from Grace, getting heals from Grace, all of that. Grace also brings full life to the table. Plus Ryryu, who's hard to kill anyway, with a lot of magic, and he does slashing damage. We're getting a slashing damage buff from Agrius' Vision card, and we're getting a magic buff from Ramuh. This team will be very hard to resist. It'll be sustainable. This is kind of what I'd recommend for a Guild Wars defense team with this limited cost thing. Now that one's kind of boring, right? Like, that team was sort of like, okay, it's vanilla. It's a tank, a healer, a DPS, whatever. We can do better than that. We can get more creative. So I wanted to make a squad that goes really fast. And I was like, we've gotten a vision card for Helena that gives her a buff. Now, we don't have Super Helena yet, or whatever, Mama Leonis, or whatever people want to call her, but we do have regular Helena. And she's pretty fast. So let me put on the screen here a team that I put together with her that is an Evasion team, actually. So it's Agrius, regular Mama, and Ruinstern. Now, to run Ruinstern, I had to get slightly more creative with that 540 budget, but really not much. You can see the only spaces where I'm saving are Helena herself, being an MR cheap unit. I'm running Behemoth on Agrius, which is suboptimal for her, but it's an Evasion squad. I don't want her getting hit a whole bunch anyway. And then I'm running Katone's Vision card on Stern, because that gives a 10% additional agility buff to the unit wearing it. So what do the stats look like for the people in this group? Check out that agility. You are talking 96 on Agrius, 95 on MR Helena, and 105 on Ruinstern. With that kind of agility and Shiva, I anticipate not missing the luck card so much. Now, you could swap out Katone's Vision card for the MR luck card in this group, and that would still work just fine. However, I really want to just push Ruinstern's agility as far as I could, and so this is what I came up with. With this comp, the agilities all being so close to each other is a big benefit for Mama Leonis here, who's going to be passing out haste, passing out quicken. Let's talk a little bit more about her real quick. One of her biggest drawbacks is her main job is one of the worst main jobs in this game. Like, Green Mage is already kind of rough as a main job anyway, but specifically her Green Mage just sucks as a main job. She doesn't have the agility buff on there. You have to go to her sub job to get it. She basically has like a wind resist buff and a medium damage non-elemental DPS spell. Gross. So I'm running her as Time Mage because she has both really good Time Mage buffs and Meteor for another DPS, and by running her own Vision card on her, Black Rose of the Battlefield, well, future her vision card. Whatever, you get what I mean. It gives her access to Shadow Flare, which the AI is pretty fond of using, and it's just more things for her to do. Because Helena's biggest drawback is she doesn't have a lot to do. She basically is her sub job, with a nice magic stat and high agility. So, I'll tell you what, I recorded a fight of this team in Arena, which is not going to be a perfect example because we actually don't know what Guild Wars map we're going to have for this yet. I don't know if they're changing it or keeping it the same. So I just went to the Arena with this team, and I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of how this team actually works right now. Okay, so here we are in Arena. We are going to fight a Warrior of Light, Thancred, Dwayne team. The Agrius in this, if she is taking damage, we would like her to be taking physical damage. So if I was running this in a Guild Wars situation, I would run it against a physical team. And this is just an all-slashing team, so this should be fine for Agrius to deal with. Now, the thing I want to point out here, right, is look at how the turns work. Agrius is going to cast Saintly Wall early. Mama Leonis is real fast, so she actually gets to go before any of the enemy team. She's going to haste Agrius immediately. This will put Agrius to going first on my team's next go around. So okay, enemy team's going to take their turn, do their buffs, cool. Now watch this. Agrius going to walk forward, Taunting Blade. Good. Agrius has hate now. Ruinstern's still getting ready to fight. He's not quite in there yet. Leonis walks up, says, hey, I got a quicken for you because I have reduced casting time. Agrius gets another turn. She puts Sentinel on herself and walks forward. Agrius AI is very good at tanking, and look at how she's doing here. She's up there with Sentinel on. Now, she didn't dodge that, but that's fine because here comes Ruinstern now. Ruinstern is activated and the enemy team is grouping up trying to beat down Agrius. Okay? Disable misses, but Mama Leonis channeling another spell. She's like, hey, Ruinstern, go a little faster. Ruinstern's like, I like to go fast. Check this out. Hazard Crusher on 3. Bang. Everybody low. And Agrius still has aggro. Now, she might go down. I don't remember if she does or not. Nope, dodge. There we go. We got a lot of evasion in this group. So we not only have tanky Agrius, but there's a decent chance that she's going to dodge a few things. Now, here's another quicken from Mama Leonis here. Ruinstern's like, don't worry, I know what to do. We're going to kill the tank. Awesome. Warrior of Light down. Ruinstern moves again. Mighty Break, Dwayne down. Look at the speed of this group in action right here, right? We're fighting an all UR team with no limitations on them. I mean, we pretty much just beat them down. If this was Guild Wars, okay, we can throw this into a second fight. We can go get 2 more stars, 3 more stars, something like that. Especially into play with because we're playing against teams that have the same limitations on them as we do. So I felt like that team performed very well. Now, it took a little bit of agility tweaking. That's why I ended up running that Ketone's Vision card on Ruinstern to give him that extra speed. And you could see he just took turns for days. He went out there and just crushed everybody, and he didn't even have to dodge anything. And that's the power of bringing Agrius with the group too. Alright, so that's the couple of teams that I've built so far. You can see that 540, really not that difficult to deal with. This was a lot of fun. Using Helena Leonis in a group for the first time ever was a joy. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any cool comps that you're thinking about running. Let me know if you think my comp is cool or stupid or whatever. If you need to buy some Visior or get some more Amazon coins, please do consider using my link. That's super awesome. It helps me out a ton. And yeah, that's it. Like the video and I'll see you next time. Okay, so bonus account review coming up. This is for Francisco. In-game name Zalk, I believe, or at least that's his Discord name. I know him as Francisco. He's a friend of the YouTube channel. I see him on there all the time, and he's a YouTube member. So he wanted to send me some screenshots of his account, and I think he was just trying to flex his account for the world here, because spoiler alert, it's pretty good. So we'll start with units. That's what you see on the screen right now. Right off the top, you'll notice a plethora of level 99 units and a lot of 99 URs and MRs. So really strong unit base right here, right? Clearly end game in terms of units. I always look for Jayy and I always look for Uldoa. Both of them are at 99. That gives you access to those like super great TMRs. Looking for Mashari level 99 here. I don't see Mashari level 99. So you have not achieved absolute Space Kraken status yet. If there's one thing I'd say here to work on, Ruinstern at 89, I'm sure you're working on that because, you know, I mean, that guy's going to be a beast. And he will be a beast in an Evasion comp because I see you have Ketone MLB'd. I personally would love to run Ketone and Ruinstern together in an Evasion team. So I think that's somewhere you could look. Of course, depending on as well on your vision card setup, which we'll get to in a minute. That could be a really cool team for you later with like Ketone, Ruinstern, and then throw in like Little Leela. I think that team would be insanely tough to deal with. All right, let's go on to gear is what you sent next. So all the +5s, right? Like your gear is set. You got +5s of all the different types of weapons here. We got some armor on this page too. +5 shoulder plate, Fittest Lucerna, Sage's hat, 2 +5 Sage's hats. So your mind is also in that Evasion realm, Francisco, and I agree. I think your account is going to lend very nicely to some Evasion. Now, what do you have for Ruinstern to run Evasion? Let's go to the next page and look at that ribbon +5. I use that on my Ruinstern Evasion a lot. You also have some Mithril armors at +2 and +1. You don't need to +5 a Mithril armor, just get the dodge type and max the dodge stat on it, and either one of those will work with him. I personally just like using ribbon more. What about the rest of this page? You got that Soul of Thamasa +5. I love that. You have the light ring, the water ring. I mean, obviously very end game account in terms of gear. So let's move on to Espers next. So Espers, top row on this page, you see all of the relevant level 80 Espers. Like again, super easy account to review. Someone send me a hard account to review, please. Francisco's account is just money. Do you have the Evasion Espers that are good? Of course you do. Tetrasylphid, obviously the best Evasion Esper. Odin, I love Odin for Evasion teams with all that agility. Shiva, yes, people make this mistake all the time. If you're running an Evasion team with a mage in it like Little Leela, use Shiva. Shiva has Evade on her board. She has the second highest agility of any Esper in the game. Run Shiva. Get that in your brains. Okay, vision cards are on the bottom of this page here. All right, I see the Black Rose Helena card. Awesome. I see Shiva at 99. Awesome. And you're missing just that third part of the Evasion team, Ketone's vision card. Now, if you could get that maxed, I think you could run a team with like Ketone with her vision card, Little Leela with Black Rose Helena, and Ruinstern with Shiva, or some kind of combination of that, and I think that team would crush. A lot of people are scared to run all three of those cards because they don't feel like they'll do damage, and anybody who's used Ruinstern before knows he does not suffer for damage. You also have like Ildira's vision card, you got the limited units cards with Dwayne and Demon Wall, you have Exorcist at 99, so that's awesome. If you want to do a DPS Ruinstern, you could do that. Your vision cards, I would say, are nearly in-game. Like, it looks to me like you're at that point in the game where you can just transition off of building units, except for ones that you specifically want, and focus hardcore on the vision cards. Last page here, you have the relevant, like, MR vision cards at 70. That's good. You say that you have 125 shards for Tetrasylphid there. Awesome. And yeah, that's it. So, Francisco, thank you for the support, my man. It was a easy account to review. I'm happy to do it. I look forward. If you ever run that team, dude, send me a video of it sometime so we can run that video on our Guild Wars streams, because I still haven't seen it. I want to see Ketone, Ruinstern, Little Leela in a comp someday, so I invite you to make that comp when you get that card maxed. Send me the video. We'll show it on stream. So thank you, Francisco, for this, for the support, and everybody who stuck around for the account review. See you later.